Today, I wanted to talk to you and show you something that I really enjoy doing, and then how it might hopefully relate in the sermon, and you can keep your eyes out for that. I really enjoy origami. All right, the taking a piece of paper and folding it from something flat into something 3D, into something that I think is pretty cool. So I've got a piece of paper here. I've already pre-folded it because I almost forgot how to make what I'm going to make, but I didn't. So just with a few folds, it doesn't take very much to turn something simple, something that we use every day, or at least that we used to use every day, into something special. And it got me thinking about how our lives are a little bit like a piece of paper used in origami. And I've got a special one to show you in just a minute, but before I get there, I have to remember how to do this one. Oh yes, yeah, no, I got it. I should have pre-folded much better than I did, but that's okay. All right, so do you have any guesses as to what I'm making? Yeah? A bird. Oh, yes, well done. Someone is very clever and has seen this before. Good. Yes, I'm making a bird. And it doesn't seem like it now. See, it's just a diamond shape, and it's fairly rough, but that's okay. So I'll fold out the head now. Okay, there's the head and now the tail. And what's cool about this particular bird, or this particular crane, so when I fold the wings down, all right, there we go, we've got our bird, but I can pull on the tail, and it can fly around. Pretty cool, huh? I think so. But I want your help with this one, okay? So I've got a piece of paper here. It's already got lots of folds in it. And I want you to imagine that this is my life, or your life, but we'll say this is my life, okay? If you look closely, you see that it's folded, and there's lots of different folds in there, different parts of it that will fold easily. And I'm going to suggest that these are like guidance. So if this is my life, the lines that are folded are guidance, are God's will for my life. God has put guidance in my life so that I am folded into the shape that He wants me to be. So I fold along this line, and it works. I fold along this line, everything's good, and this one. But when I fold against the line, well, it doesn't fold very easily, does it? It doesn't work as God wanted it to. And it just doesn't line up, and now I've got a horrible crease in my previously perfect, or at least not perfect, but my certainly in the will that God wanted for me in my life. And sometimes in life we do have choices that we make that do bend the wrong way. But in Proverbs chapter 3, and verse 5 and 6, the Bible says, "Trust in the Lord with all your heart, and lean not on your own understanding. In all your ways submit to Him, and He will make your path straight." So it doesn't mean that life is always going to be easy, but it does mean that God knows the lines and He knows how your life fits together, or how my life fits together. So now as I start to finish and create this object, and keep folding my life, everything sort of fits into place. I trust in God, and I do what He wants me to do, and He knows what He needs me to do. And I'm just following one step at a time. There's nothing crazy there. Cool. And then when I'm finished, hopefully, all right, there we go. So I've got myself a pretty cool star shape. You see that? So I've got a star. It's pretty cool. I can fold it this way. I can fold it back, and I can fold it the other way. But what's really interesting about this one, and I want you to listen to my sermon today, I'm talking about a man named Nehemiah. And Nehemiah, in the Bible, he built a wall. He rebuilt the wall of Jerusalem. And he didn't rebuild it in one day. It took him a few steps. It took him a few days to build it. just like it took me one fold at a time to make this shape. So now, yes, I've finished it. But watch what happens, all right, when I squeeze on a certain spot. Are you ready? Oh. See that again? So I've got my shape, sort of a star or an octagon. And if I apply some pressure, it changes into something else, into, a rectangular prism. Pretty cool. And here's what's interesting, right? When we let God lead our lives, we can form a pretty cool shape like that. But we might not ever imagine what God might use us for, and He might, and He will transform our lives into something new out of something that couldn't have become this shape. So sometimes you might feel like life is a bit like paper. You're folding it and you might fold it wrong, and that's okay. Because God sees something more. And even though I folded that wrong, it still produced the shape that it was supposed to. So when you trust Him and you trust God and you follow Him step by step, He shapes your life into something meaningful. I'll do it one more time. And I think that's a very, very cool demonstration of the way that God transforms our life when we follow Him and listen to Him. So thank you very much for listening. And you can go back to your seats and listen out for some more about Nehemiah in the sermon.